first and foremost, before we move on, so for the last episode of Career Makeover with YT, we dealt with career gap analysis. I took you guys through the process and the steps of carrying out a career gap analysis. So I want somebody to, now, even though we had a bit of a technical issue last month, we couldn't have a slide presentation, which I promised that I'm going to make it and upload it on YouTube. I have not been able to do that. Life has been lifing, but I'm going to do that, I promise. So, but for those of us that were in the episode, I want you to like just mention one thing that stood out to you and one thing that you did, you know, that has helped you move from where you were to, you know, move you closer to your career goals. So you can drop it in the comments, you know, what you learned, what you took home that day. Because the thing about learning is we have to do. If you do not do, then your learning is not complete. I always say that. So, what did you do? What was your take home for last episode of Career Makeover with YT? Let's see who has been following. I'm waiting. You can drop a comment. We dealt with career makeover. We dealt with career gap analysis. How to carry out a career gap analysis. You know, to move forward in your career. It's either you want to transition, or you want a promotion, or you just want to feel unstuck. You want to unstuck yourself. You know, from whatever it is, whatever position it is you, or wherever it is you are in your career. So, who is going to bail us out? I'm waiting.
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good
Good evening,
evening.
YT.
Good evening, Ebiseri. Thank you. So, let's hear
Um,
from you.
so, on the career gap analysis framework that you shared, I'm sure that you talked about defining our current state, identifying our desired state, recognize the gap, and bridge the gap. So whether it's with skill acquisition, whether it's with networking, whatever we need to do. And I remember that I was supposed, in fact, when we started now, I just remember that I promised that I would optimize my LinkedIn. I haven't done that. But I I definitely will after this time out. So one of the things that I think stood out for me was you talked briefly about executive presence and to embody the aura of that person you want to become.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember.
Of course, I remember.
So now I'm not carrying my Agbero ways anyway. Like
Okay.
I'm embodying the aura of my future me or my next me, and I'm behaving exactly the way that the person who I envision will behave even now. So I think that's a good one. So when I want to be an Agbero, I just remember that A, B, calm down, executive presence, be demure. So I hear that voice. Yeah, but on a serious note, yeah, the networking part I think was one of the things that I felt that I fell short, and I think I'm putting myself out there more,
Okay.
and when I get the opportunity, rather than be quiet about what I do, I, just speak up more and connect with people more, basically
Okay.
people in my own circle and people who I feel would advance my, whether it's my speaking or my voice over career or even just my ministry. So thank you.
Great, 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 great. So let's just give a hand to Ebiseri. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. That was just beautiful, beautiful to listen to. Because sometimes we go through these sessions like this, and then we just come out. It's like, what's the big deal? There's nothing that was said that hasn't been said before. But hearing this kind of feedback is always, something I look forward to. So yes, executive presence, you have to begin to behave or act like your future self. It's very important. Before you have to have, understood your why, and then devise the how you're going to get there, and act like your future self, dress like the person you want to be, look like it, speak like it, and in no time you are there. So thank you so much, Ebisere, for your contribution. Thank you. I appreciate that. Any other person wants to speak? Um, well, I think that was good for we've spent 11 minutes. So let's just move on to the first question I have on my list. If you have any question, you can drop it on the chat. But some questions came in, so I'm going to deal with them first. So the first question I have here is, I feel stuck in my current job. I want growth, but there are no opportunities in sight. What do I do? So I think many people can resonate with this question. Many professionals feel stuck, where they are in their job, in their current role. So I kind of understand. I have been there, you know, so I understand. Now, like I explained before, I'm going to use the red model, my red model, to answer this question in a very structured way. So, first of all, let's look at the rationale. In the red model, R is for rationale, E for execution, and D is for denouement. Mm, I think I'm saying, oh, okay. Hope, you said that's your question too. All right, that's good. That's good. So, yeah, I got this question a number of times. So that's why we're going to deal with it first. So, rationale in the red model, what is rationale? This is where you ask the question why this matters. Why this matters. This is where you ask yourself, because you're feeling stuck in your current job. Why this matters. Feeling stuck isn't always about the organization you're working on or working in. It often means your value has outgrown your current role. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. Feeling stuck is not always about your organization. Most times, yeah, when you feel stuck in your current role, it's about you. It's about your value outgrowing your current role. So it's a sign that you need to stretch. It's a sign that you need to stretch when you're stuck, when you are feeling, because it's a feeling. You just feel like you can't move forward. You're just there. So that this is where you're looking at why it matters, the rationale, the reason, the why. Why are you feeling stuck? Ask yourself this question. Why are you feeling stuck? It's very important. It's very important. And one very important thing you should do is not to look at the organization, because that is an external factor. That is an external factor. And at the moment, there's nothing you can do about that. So you concentrate on yourself. Concentrate on what you can do. Concentrate on your reason. The reason why you think you're stuck. Assess your situation. When did you start feeling this way? You know, have you always been feeling like that? When you started the job, how were you feeling? When you got the job, how did it feel? When did that feeling of being stuck start? You look at the things you were doing when you were okay, or you were happy with the job, or you were feeling not stuck. Look at the activities. Look at what you were doing. Then try to go back and remember when you started feeling stuck. What happened? What changed? Is the job no longer giving you that satisfaction? Are you no longer challenged in the job? Or is it the people? Do you feel that you know more than everybody in your organization? You know, these things, assess yourself, ask yourself these questions. When, you need to know when you started feeling stuck, and what were the things that happened at that time you started feeling stuck. So when you have asked yourself these questions, then you will now move to the second stage, which is execution. This is where you look at what you need to do. After you have asked yourself, you have looked at your rationale. Why are you stuck? When did this whole feeling stuck start? You now go to the rationale. Then you start with skills, and you start with the skills and an impact audit. Because like I said before, feeling stuck is almost always about your value outgrowing your current role. So if your value has outgrown your current role, what does that mean? That means you need to stretch. That means it's like you have learned everything you need to learn in that space. With the current your current job, you have learned everything you need to learn. You need to now stretch yourself. You need to push yourself. That is why in your execution, you start with the skills and impact audit. What is a skills and impact audit? This is where you look at what you have done, learned, or what you problems or challenges that you have solved in the last 6 to 12 months. Then you map out your growth. You map out what growth means to you. After you have done a skills and impact audit, you of course, from the name, you see that you list out the skills, the current skills you have, then the impact. How has your job impacted the organization? What does it mean for the organization to have you working for them? You need to audit, you need to look at that. You need to look at what you have learned on the job, what you have done, and then what you have solved, problems that you have solved. Look, just take from the last 6 to 12 months, maybe from the last year, then you now map out what growth means to you. This is what you are doing in the execution stage. What does growth mean to you? Is it leadership, or is it variety, or is it money? Do you need more money? Will more money unstock you? Or is it just visibility, or just recognition? What does growth mean to you at this point? This is where, in the execution stage, is where you map these things out. And it's not just in your head. You need your pen and your paper. Now, there's one thing I like about pen and paper. My book and paper is like an extension of yourself. Now, I understand technology and everything, with the phones and tabs, and you type and all. But when you take out your pen and put things down, you're extending yourself. So it's more, for me, it's more real for me when I take my pen to paper and put things down. So I advise, or I advocate for doing this in this execution, when you're carrying out this analysis or audit. Put your pen to paper and use your brain. This is not the time to ask ChatGPT anything. You need to make use of your brain. So this is where you now map, what growth means to you. When I'm seeing, I will get to your question. So when you have mapped those things out, you now start adding value beyond your job description. If maybe, for instance, you are a receptionist, you want to just take calls, pick calls, dispatch emails, or whatever it is. If it's just your job, look for a way, to add value beyond your job description. Look for a way. If your role now is just to, receive visitors, maybe you should, when people are waiting, maybe you should add, add your own aura, add your own presence. You can engage people in meaningful discussions while they are waiting. If you are, it is not going to affect your job, or if there's nothing currently, engage them. It doesn't have to be long, just a short meaningful discussion while they are waiting for your boss or whoever. Find a way to add value beyond your job description. Now, if possible, you have growth discussions with your manager, your line manager. Don't wait for appraisal seasons. If you're working in a company that runs appraisals regularly, don't wait for appraisals before you have discussion with your line manager. Look for a way, because most organizations, some organizations that want to grow, they anything that would affect them, anything that will bring about growth or increase in their bottom line, they will welcome it. They will welcome it. So look for a way, have these discussions with your line manager, build a very good relationship with your line manager, and have such discussions with them. Whatever it is you think you can do. Now, it is very important that you should note that this is not the time for meetings, for money, to focus on money at this point. If money is not part of the thing that is doing you, focus on value. Even if money is the thing, focus on, because if you want your boss to increase your salary, you need to prove value. You need to be able to prove your value. That is when money comes. So your focus should be on value added, your value add. Now, also in your execution stage, is the time you need to start building your internal brand. Show up in cross-functional projects, share insights, take initiative, do something different. Do something different. So after this execution stage, where you have looked at ways that you can add more value, ways that you can do things differently, now the value, and you now look at the denouement. What is the denouement? Is the value, the result. What do you want as the outcome of this whole process? What will be like your reward? What will be like the way it should look like, the ideal situation, what you would want? So that is when you now act like you're ready for more. You are acting like you're, after you have gone through that stage of adding more value. If you have really done that thoroughly, looked at ways you are adding value beyond your job description, opportunities will begin to align. Is like it will just begin to align. Your energy would have shifted because you have done the thorough work, you have done the inside job. Energy shifts, and then once you are ready, opportunities just begin to show up. It may not come in the way that you think or the way you expect them to in the beginning, but you will see that they will begin to call you for things they were not calling you for before. Meetings that they will not call you to come and attend, they will call you. People that don't used to ask for your opinion on certain things will begin to ask for your opinion on those things. Your brand, you're growing your brand. You're growing your brand. It's a process. Understand that it's a process, and you need to work on your mind. First of all, feeling stuck is a thing of your mind. You need to work on your mind and understand that nobody will save you. Nobody will do that job for you. It is you that will do it. So be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Understand that when you're feeling stuck, what will take you out is not what you have been doing, is what you have never done. That is one thing that you need to understand. So things will just begin to align when you do your own inside job, which is look at how you have contributed and all. So I've dwelt too much on this question. I hope that you got a thing or two. So somebody dropped in the comment, says, what if it's just that you're tired of the job, you don't like or love it, you don't agree with the culture and structure of the organization, you don't get along with the people, but you're just there because you've not gotten a better job offer, and man must work. Well, these things happen. You need to plan your exit strategy. You need to start saving up. You need to start planning, you know to leave, planning your exit. That's what I'm you have to have savings for, like, that will take you for at least maybe 6 months. Three people say 3 months, but I mean Nigeria. And you need to look for other ways that you can earn money, because if you have Mental health is very important. If you're feeling just dry, like you don't even like the job again, well, how did you get the job? Did you even like it in the first place? How was it like before you got that job? If it's something you can just leave, assess your own personal situation. If it's something you can just leave, you don't there are some times you don't need to wait to get another job. Yeah, it's good how to be strategic. Sometimes you say wait to get another job before you quit your, but if it's something that is draining you, then please save up and leave. And before you do that, you need to have done this. Make sure that your skill set is in alignment with what is with high demand, what is in high demand in the marketplace. Because people, there are jobs and there are no jobs. That's what I will tell you. You see vacancies every day. People are getting jobs and people are not getting jobs. So you need to be able to align your skill set with high in demand skills in the marketplace, what people are looking for. Make sure that you are what they want. Don't just, for some people, they've been working there and they have not even provided, they're not even giving value, and they are claiming that the job, they don't like the job. So let's be truthful to yourself. Assess yourself. Have you done, are you giving the right value? Are you giving value and you're not being appreciated? Be sincere. When you have done that, please plan your way out. If it's a thing that is draining you, because you cannot even think straight to get another job if you are always, day in, day out in something that drains you. So I hope I was able to answer that. So the next Thank you. The next question I have here is, how do I deal with a difficult boss who's blocking my progress? When I saw this question, I said, please, I hear that some people have beautiful bosses that they are friends with. I hear, but it is the case in the case of many people is that they have difficult bosses. And sometimes it's not because your boss wants to be difficult. They too, they're under pressure. Your own boss may be under pressure. If your boss is, even if your boss is the MD, the owner of the company, they are under pressure. The kind of pressure that you don't see, you don't understand. So who else? Who else will they pour the whole anger on, if not for you? But on a more serious note, let's look at how let's deal with this question. How do I deal with a difficult boss who's blocking my progress? So again, let's use our red model. Rationale. Sometimes your biggest blocker sits above you. That's just it. It happens. It happens. That's your boss, maybe your biggest blocker. But by the time you emotionally react, that is adding petrol to fire. Please try as much as possible to remove emotions. When dealing with a difficult boss, the goal is influence, not confrontation. Your goal should be influence, not confrontation. What do I mean? Don't come outrightly to tell your boss that you are wrong, or what you are doing is not good. Just outrightly like that. No, don't do that. Don't be confrontational with your boss. Certainly influence their decisions, and so they now begin to act like the idea originated from them, but it originated from you. So this is your goal in dealing with a difficult boss. Please, if you don't get anything, if you have a difficult boss, understand that your goal is influence, not confrontation. When you have gotten that out of the way, you have cleared that your goal is influence and not confrontation, you now go to the execution stage. What do you do in the execution stage? Like I said before, you have to first emotionally detach yourself from the whole situation. Remove yourself from the it all and look at it with a third eye. you need to assess, is this a personality clash or a performance related issue? So is it that you are not performing as you are supposed to? You're always making mistakes, you're always having return jobs. Look at it. Look at it objectively. Is it a performance related issue or is it a personality clash? The second thing you are assessing is, um, check if there are patterns. Check if there are any patterns to this. Are there times, are there situations where they react to so harshly? Just look for patterns. Look for patterns. Then you build a strategic approach. After you have emotionally detached yourself, you have now determined if it is a personality issue or a performance issue. This is where you start building your strategies to um, deal with your difficult boss. Documentation. Number one strategy: document your contributions. If there's anything you have done, write it down. As in what you did and the outcome. What you did and the outcome. Business related though, that is affecting the business. Maybe it has improved process or it has, whatever it is, document it. Document it. Then, if possible, seek allies or mentors, anybody, a colleague that can vouch for your work. Seek such people out that know that understand your value and can vouch for what you're doing, your contributions, or how you're doing your job. Then find ways to work around, not against. Find ways to work around. You understand that your boss is still your boss, so, and the truth is that they still have power. So find ways to try to align yourself with them. Work around the situation, work around issues, you know. So look for a way to, if your organization allows for interdepartmental or cross departmental work that gives you visibility. Because if it's your boss that is your problem, maybe if you are able to change boss, you understand. So, but people will not request for you, or they may not transfer you if they don't see that you can also perform in another unit or in another role. So find ways to try to get buy-ins, try to, do other, projects, or contribute to other departments, the outcome of other departments, cross departmental projects and like that. This will create visibility for you, and visibility would also produce allies that can vouch for your work. And then some people will say, look, I want you in my team. If a boss wants you in their team, then you know that that boss may not be a difficult boss. So your denouement in this situation would be that you are gaining control. With this whole thing, you have gained control. So you are either reclaiming influence in your current space, or you are building a case to move forward or even out of the organization, because your boss will make or break you. Sometimes if you can't cross over, or if you can't move to another unit, if you can't change a boss, then it may be that you need to go out. So, but if you have done what I've listed out, if you have done it properly, you would the control will now return to you. You understand? So you are now either better equipped to move to another department, get a new boss, or you're getting out of the organization entirely. So either way, you're not waiting for permission to grow. You're not seeking for permission from anybody. You are not leaving the whole outcome in the hands of one difficult boss. I hope I was able to deal with that question. If you have any comments, you can drop them in the comment section. Thank you. So this question also came in very well. The third question we're going to deal with here is it says, I'm a multi-talented or sorry, I'm multi-talented and confused about which career path to follow. How do I choose? In my experience, many people are multi-talented. It's a challenge and is a blessing and is a challenge. So most people I meet are multi-talented. Most people that you see that are not really doing so well in their careers, when you get to know them, they know a lot. They are so gifted, skilled in different areas. What is happening to them is confusion. Confusion. So if you find yourself, if you're the person that asked this question and you're here in this meeting, being multi-talented, understand that being multi-talented is a blessing. Like I said before, it is a blessing. It is a blessing. But the truth is, without direction, it becomes noise. Like you're here, you're neither here, you're neither there. So your rationale is where you look at focus. You need to focus. The key to coming out of the confusion is focus, not force, but focus. How do you do that? We'll discuss that in the execution stage. So in this execution stage, you ask yourself, what um what do I want to be known for right now? Like these things, you need to do it yourself. You need to understand that you need is brain work and inside work. This is the time that you need to look inwards. What do I want to be known for right now? And look at your talents. Look at your talents in the lens of okay, sorry. In the lens of what energizes you, what creates value for others. What energizes you, what creates value for others. And then the third thing is, what can I monetize or grow consistently? When you ask yourself that question, what do I want to be known for? The answer that you give should be through the lens of these other three questions. So it's like sub questions in that main question. You look at what energizes you. What is the thing that you do that look when you can't get tired? It's like fire. It gives you fire, pumps you. And then you also look at what creates value for others, because it's not about you. It's not just about you. You need to be able to solve problems for others. You need to be able to solve other people's problems. So it energizes you and it also creates value for others. And then the third thing is also, what can I monetize or grow consistently? So when you have answered these questions, then you choose a core path. For now, look at one thing that you can focus on. Because the truth is, when people now know you for one thing, when you are solid on one thing, you can now start diversifying. You don't diversify from the beginning. You don't do everything when you have not succeeded in one. That's why the first thing you should do is look for that one thing. So choose a core path, the core path for now. Understand that you're not boxing yourself in. You're just building mastery and momentum, which is very important. It's very important for this earlier stage. You're not boxing yourself in. You're just building mastery and momentum. That's what you're doing. So focus. So in your denouement stage will be, this is where that focus now creates clarity. Because once you have gained traction, once you are gaining momentum in one area, like I said before, it then becomes easier to expand or pivot with purpose. At this time, you are no longer confused, because you are now a tree. You have roots, and then the branches and the fruits. Your denouement is where your branches and your fruit have started coming out. But you have to first of all roots. You have to first of all build roots, build your foundation. It's very important. So when you have that problem, or you are confused, this is what you should do. What matters to you at this point in time? What do I want people to know me for? Then those three questions inside that one, what energizes you, what creates value for others. Sometimes also look at what people come to you for. What do people freely just come to ask you about? What do they come to you for? This is a time of self-reflection, and then look at it clearly. And money is very important, so what will people pay you for? That's it. It's very important. Then start from one. Choose a core path that you want to follow. Build momentum. Ground yourself. Have roots. Then you can now start diversifying into your other very, very many talents that you have. 7:41. So three questions where I'm able to go through three questions. I hope that has provided some form of value to you. Maybe we'll do another session because there are many other questions. But I want to hear from you here on the call. If you have anything you want to say, any observation or any question or comments, suggestions, anything, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. We've answered three questions. I hope that I was able to deal with it as much as possible. But I want to hear from you before we run out of time. We don't exceed 1 hour. We're always keeping to time. Okay, Yakong has a question. It says, "Hi YT, I'm a supply chain professional with 6+ years of work experience. I'm curious about personal brand building, but I'm not sure where to start. My primary aim is to expand the career opportunities available to me, and secondly, knowledge transfer." Okay, thank you, Yakong. Okay, so you're a supply chain professional with 6+ years of experience. Wow, that's a good one. So personal brand, very important. I think I had a question on that, but I just skipped it. Now, what you're curious about is personal brand building. First thing I'm going to say about your personal brand is that it is not magic. You cannot build a personal brand in one day or in one, even sometimes 12 months. Personal brand is built through consistency. Is built through consistency. Some people think personal branding is showing off, but it is not. It is not. Personal branding is showing up with intention. Showing up with intention, because people cannot value what they don't see. They can't value what they can't see. So right now, Yakong, what you should be doing is to focus on serving, not selling. That's what you should be doing. Focus on serving, not selling. Share your work, your lessons on the job, or in your failures, and your expertise also. Share your expertise through storytelling, sharing on LinkedIn. You know, think, um, think. This is what I learned. You know, I want to share. This is what I learned, and then you share. What did you learn? It can be as simple as maybe one particular process that you didn't really think was difficult, and then you just say, let me try to do it this way, and you did it, and it was proving more difficult than you had anticipated. You can share that experience. You can share that experience. So you're also thinking in terms of, this is a problem I solved at work today. Something happened, this is what I did, and this is the outcome. Then when you're sharing, yeah, I'm just giving you different ideas. If you're dealing with this, maybe you have had a kind of situation before. You can just start it. If you're dealing with this, this is something I did that helped. It may help you list the things out. It can be a very short post, LinkedIn post. LinkedIn is very, very is a game changer in terms of building your personal, your career brand, your personal brand, professional brand. LinkedIn is very important. You need to be active on LinkedIn. You need to be consistent on LinkedIn. So when if you want to start building your brand now, you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. First, even before optimizing your LinkedIn profile, you need to tighten your, you need to be a professional at core. In your on the job, how do people see you? How do you show up at work? How do you show up at work? How do you do your job? How do you make people feel? Your colleagues, how do they feel around you? These are the things you need to look at. So, but one thing I want you to take note is now is not the time to focus on selling. Focus on serving. I said that before, but I wanted it to hit. Focus on selling. So by the time you are on serving, not selling. So by the time you are sharing your experience, your failures, your lessons, your solutions or problems you have solved, look for what works for you. Is it I think the ideal um timing to post on LinkedIn is like maybe 3 to 4 times a week. The important thing is consistency. Consistency. Post consistently. You're a supply chain professional. Post about your job. Anything that relates to supply chain management. Anything that relates to supply chain management. People will begin to find value in what you are posting. You start attracting opportunities. People will start associating your name with value. When they start looking forward to your posts or insights, share your authentic self. Don't Personal branding, don't build a brand that is, you know personal branding. I'm going to use this example. Personal branding is not painting wood gold and then leaving the inside. No. Personal branding is shining the gold, is cleaning the gold so that it will shine. So you're not trying to portray yourself as someone or who you're not, but you want to present yourself so people will see you. That is what personal branding is. That is what personal branding is. I'm going to give you an example from personally. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Personally, I wrote a book. you know I'd been wanting to do that for some time, and then somehow I got to write that book. I knew that it had value and all, but people read the book, people implemented the strategies, and it was just eye-opening. Like, these are the things I did. And you know what somebody told me? The person called me and said, somebody that bought the book, he said, as I was reading the book, as I was going through the activities, the exercises I needed to do, I began to understand what you did that changed some things. And that thing touched me. Like, because it's not what I didn't do. I didn't write about what I didn't do. It's what I did. Difficult things I had to do. And when I got that feedback, it was like, wow, that person bought the book and paid times three because she was like, this is too much value and you have priced it, you have underpriced it. And she paid times three. She had to send me money again. So this is what I mean. Live out yourself. So thank you. Yes, thank you for your feedback. Really spot on. Thank you so much. Any other comments or questions or suggestions? I'm waiting. I want to hear from you, please. I want to hear from you. I really enjoyed this session personally because it wasn't like this. Usually I have a slide and then talk and everything, but I'm really enjoying this. And these questions I got, you know, I'm really enjoying it. I hope I'm not alone. Any other? Thank you. Thank
Um,
you.
Hello, IT. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Episeri. So you are the only one talking today. Hope. Fupere. All right. Okay. Please go ahead. We have like about 10 minutes to go.
Okay, I just wanted to quickly speak to the person present here who seconded the question you answered first about feeling stuck.
Okay.
Okay, so I just wanted to speak to that from not a professional perspective like our coach Whitey, just a layman who understands and who feels the pain. And I'm not saying you don't understand the coach Whitey, no, I'm just saying that seeing that I don't know all you know, just from somebody who has
Yes.
been there,
Yes.
done that, perspective. I just want to say that sometimes that the first thing we should understand also is that stock is not a fact, is a feeling. And sometimes
Exactly.
it's just a limitation that we've placed on ourselves, and it's just something that uh, it's something that we can come out of by ourselves. And we should just know that we shouldn't feel helpless, and that there will not be a perfect time to begin to take these steps that you've talked about. But if we can just dare to believe in ourselves and just dare to come out of this feeling and know that enough is enough. You know how they say happy is a choice, and that the whole world might be in chaos and everything, but you just decide by yourself that you see me, oh, I'm not going to buy into these negative feelings. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be at peace. I think that's the same thing with feeling stuck. And then, waiting for opportunities is one of the things that will still keep us stuck,
Yeah.
because we need to
Exactly.
learn to create those opportunities by ourselves. And it doesn't have to be the big things. Like, okay, I want to
Mm-hmm.
start my own big company. I want to
Mm-hmm.
do this. Like you said, start giving value. And you might find that it takes your mind off that job that is not fulfilling you for now. Just start giving value in other ways. And just like Whitey was saying, she had to take tough decisions. It's on you. And if we're singing, I'm stuck year one, I'm stuck year two, we're doing ourselves a
The
disservice,
service.
because it means that we're not implementing the things that we're hearing. It's not going to be easy, but if you implement and decide that I want to come out of this thing, it will, you can do it. Whoever, I don't know who asked that question here, but I just want to tell you that you can come out of it. There's no better time than now. Nobody is
Mm.
keeping you a prisoner in a situation that is not serving you. Come
Mm.
out of it. If it's a job that is draining you, like she said, give yourself time
Mm-hmm.
to save and come out of it. Life is too short. Life is just too short to be at the mercy of whatever life throws at you. Be intentional about coming out of feeling stuck. Do something different. Life is too short. That's just what I wanted to say. And you know the solution to your problem. You know how the Bible says, what's that you have in your hands? You can use it. You can
Mm.
use it. Yeah, so just ask yourself that, what can I do differently that I don't feel this way anymore? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. You who has ear, let him hear. There's nobody that's coming for you. No, if you are feeling like she said, if you are feeling stuck year one, year two, year three, you are sleeping. You need to do the work. So I just saw a question that Eliaza asked. Said, how can I grow up the ladder as a salesperson? Eliaza, I hope you're still here. Sorry, I missed your question. As a salesperson with with all my skill, sorry, I am learning, or what is for me up as a salesperson. I really don't understand your question. But if it's about growing, Eliaza, can you please give light to this question because I really don't understand your question. If it's about growing,
Good
like
evening.
okay, good evening, Eliaza, good evening. Thank you. Sorry,
Good
I think you
evening,
have
ma.
typo. Yes, I need to understand your question. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just trying to find out what what's the space for me up as a salesperson. What space am I should I think of up. That's just it. That's just the recap of it.
Okay. Okay. Beyond sales. How can you
Yes,
grow beyond,
exactly.
okay,
Yes,
as a
yes,
salesperson?
yes, yes.
Hmm, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think I've answered something like this, but not specifically to sales. So it's about you, first of all, looking inwards. It's about you, first of all, looking inwards. What do you want? What do you want? If your organization has growth opportunities as a salesperson, maybe there's a career path in your organization, then maybe you look at that and look at what is the skill set for the next role, that you can go into apart from your sales. Like if you are going to be promoted now, what is the next role? So look at the skill set for that role. The thing about your question is you first of all need to look inwards and ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? What energizes me? What gives me fire? What pumps me? What do I want? So if you have answered that question, then you look at those roles that are aligned with what you want. When you have identified those roles that are aligned with what you want, now you look at create a persona of a particular role. Who is that person? How do they talk? What skills do they possess? How do they walk? How do they dress? How do they do the things they do? How are they high achievers? How are they perceived as high value employees? So you look at those things, assess it, then you need to learn to be that person. Model yourself to be that person. If you need to learn a skill, learn a skill. If you need to get a mentor, get a mentor. If you need to get a certification, get that certification. If you need to join a professional group, do that. Whatever it is you need to do, do it. But first, it starts from you. What do you want? Like I said, if you have a career path in your organization that you're looking at, fine. But I don't think this question is about that. So it's you're looking for more. What more? What more is there for me? What is more out there for me? So ask yourself personally, what do I want? Because the thing about building a fulfilling, authentic career is one that truly resonates with you, one that is in alignment with your essence, with your core. Do the internal job, do the inside job of understanding what exactly you want to achieve in your career. Then look at the people that have achieved those things. Understudy them. What skills do they possess? What kind of people do they know? What kind of people are they? Then become that person. When you have done that, the truth is you will begin to attract such opportunities. You will begin to attract such opportunities when you have become the person that that role requires. Thank you. I hope I was able to answer that question. We have just 2 minutes to go. Thank you, Ebisiri, for your beautiful contributions, for your questions and your answers. Everything spot on. Thank you, Oruma. Thank you, Hope, for joining in. I promise I'm going to make a record of the last Career Makeover session and I'm going to upload it on YouTube so we can watch. Thank you, Fumpere. Thank you, Idowu. Who else is on the call? Thank you, guys. Thank you, Yakong. Thank you so much. We hope to see more of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, Career Makeover YT holds every last Saturday of the month. Is my own way of giving back. Giving back freely is free, but you must implement if you're going to gain any real value from the sessions. So thank you guys for joining in. God bless you, God keep you, and God cause His face to shine on you. See you in the next episode of Career Makeover Writing. Yakon, do you want to say something before we go?
Okay. Thank you. I mean, my first time here, but I'm sold out really. So thanks for all the golden nuggets you've shared, and look forward to the next.
Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Gives me fire.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
All
Take
right,
care.
guys. Bye bye. See you next month.